I am not one of those husbands who checks up on their wives, being jealous of everything and everyone. I have always valued sincerity and believe that any relationship should be built on trust. I could understand and forgive a lot, but it so happened that my wife led a double life behind my back for a long time. I found out about it completely by accident, without even intending to. Our marriage was strong despite the age difference. I am 7 years older than my wife. We had many common interests and saw many things the same way, which greatly helped in the formation of our family. From my side, my wife always felt support and stability. There were, of course, difficulties, both domestic and financial. I tried to solve everything myself as much as possible, not burdening her with problems, and I turned a blind eye to many things. Once, I even forgave infidelity. Yes, it was at the very beginning of our life together. Her head was turned by my old acquaintance. He was younger than me and richer, but the seriousness of his intentions was in great doubt. Enjoying all the temptations of a carefree life, she stumbled but returned to me. Back then, I thought, well, it happens to everyone. After all, she understood that by parting with me, she could lose much more, my love, care, and devotion. And that is worth a lot. Over time, everything settled down by itself. However, new worries and difficulties appeared. Despite my help, my wife increasingly repeated, "Oh, when will all this end? I'm tired of constant lack of sleep, washing, ironing, and dishwashing. One could go crazy. That's it, I'm done. Manage here by yourself as you want, and I'll go to my mom's for a couple of days." That's how we lived. All week I worked hard, and on weekends I took care of our child. In this whirlpool of cares, I didn't even notice how our son grew up, became independent, and there were fewer chores at home. However, my wife took up the habit of going to her mom's for 2 days a week. We live in the same city, I wondered. Well, you visit, but why stay overnight? You are so insensitive, my wife accused me. The 3 of us are here, and my mom is left alone after my father's death. She needs help. And you will get a break from me. And then one day, everything was as usual. My wife was getting ready for a trip to her mom's. I was also planning to go somewhere on business. Dinner is in the fridge, and help our son with his homework. She kissed me on the cheek and said goodbye. About 30 minutes later, leaving the apartment, I discovered that I couldn't find my keys. Calling my wife, I heard, "Yes, honey, what happened? You didn't accidentally take my apartment keys?" "I can't find them." "Oh yes, I put them in the drawer while cleaning," she explained, saying she was already approaching her stop. Meanwhile, I clearly heard the bus announcer in the background. Next stop, Victory Park. At first, I was stunned. This is in the completely opposite direction from her mom's place. Bewildered by what I heard, various scenarios started spinning in my head. Gathering my thoughts, I remembered that the lover of my wife lived exactly there. My heart pounded madly. Putting all the facts together, I rushed into my son's room. "Get ready, we are going to Grandma's." "It's time for us to visit her too," I shouted, almost losing my temper. On the way, I was tormented by thoughts that these were just my assumptions. My mother-in-law met us with a warm smile. "Well, finally you remembered me. We live so close, yet we rarely see each other. My daughter barely drops by once a month, and only for a couple of hours." "Where is she? Isn't she with you?" I asked. "I was going to ask you, Susie. She left for your place 2 hours ago." "How can that be?" "It's already late." "Maybe something happened," my mother-in-law worried, clutching her heart. To avoid stressing us any further, I called my wife and said I knew where she was and with whom. Of course, it was a bluff. I still hoped to hear words of justification, but that didn't happen. My wife burst into tears and only confirmed my suspicions. Well, since you know everything, I guess we need to talk. Now I sit and think, how could I have been such a fool, blindly believing all my wife's words? All this time, she'd brazenly lied to my face and continued to meet with her lover. Honestly, I don't know what to do next, but I will remember this lesson for the rest of my life. After all, they say, trust but verify.